Okay, guys, we are back with more Please Be Happy. In the last one, we sort of kind of got a kid. In this one, there's a knock at the window. And between episodes, I tried fixing my camera. I did. It's not the best still, but it's a little bit better without me like resetting things and essentially like potentially ruining the recording. So it's like I'd have to like click off this, and sometimes clicking off Please Be Happy back into OBS sometimes ruins the recording. So let's not do that. How's it looking? I think it's looking good. It's just not tracking my mouth very well is the only real issue. Like, it's tracking, like, everything else decently well, you know? Like, everything else is, like, doing pretty good. Like, my eyes are a little off, but, like, everything else is, like, fine. You know what I mean? I don't know. Whatever. With all that being said, let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. In the evening, after the library is already closed, there's a knock at the door while I'm downstairs. It sounds urgent. Oh, it's these guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We've gone through this before. Yeah, yeah. Gosh, this doesn't this happen like right towards the end? Like I feel like in Aspen's route, there was only like we only did like 2 more episodes after this, and then it was over. I'm a little scared that we're gonna end it this episode because I wanted to do something. It's not really special for the last episode, but it's something. I thought it was a funny idea for it, so that's what we're gonna do. Well, I need to actually have like I need to go to the store and get it, you know, because it's something that like expires, it goes bad, so I need to go get it, and then I can come back here, and then we can do the last episode. So I'm like, if it's coming up soon, I need to be ready. You know what I mean? I need to be like mentally prepared. Bup, bup, bup. Maybe I need to check like Leary's streams to see how close I am actually to the end. Like we'll do this episode because I doubt we're actually gonna get to it in this episode, but I'll probably just check just to make sure. Um. Okay, I'm gonna actually have to use my hands. It's a little hard to do like the spamming with that, so I'll have to use my hands a little bit here. Dut 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 dut. Gosh, this was such a hard scene to get. This is such a sad scene. Just going through the story with them, it's just so hard. I'm surprised that there isn't like more of like a story with like the fisherman of like all the characters you can find. I thought that there'd be like a little side plot with like him, because there's one with these guys obviously, and then there's one with what's her name? Oh my gosh, what's her name? I almost said Lyra, but it's not. Lena, with Lena. There we go. I thought that there'd be like a little plot with the old fisher guy, and I just realized that that never happened. It just never he never got his time to shine. After the library is closed for the evening, and I'm in the middle of cleaning up, Lyra finally comes downstairs. Just like this morning, she's dragging the blanket behind her, only this time it's mine.
Alright, you can have anything in the fridge. Or I can make you a sandwich in a bit. Okay, I'll go look.
She wanders into the kitchen alone, and I can hear her rifling through the fridge. Giving someone permission to do things is a new experience for me. A single day at the library has already made her a lot more comfortable. I guess she never had a problem with taking food, though. She spent a couple of days watching TV in my room, and also chose a couple books from the kids section to read. Because she's so quiet and keeps to herself, I could almost forget she's even around. I peek into the kitchen to check on her. Lyra sitting at the table with a book open in front of her and a bowl of cereal beside it. She fits in just fine here. Leaving her to her snack, I go upstairs and find Juliet in her office.
I was just about to join you downstairs. How's our guest?
Eating in the kitchen. She seems right at home.
She does, doesn't she?
It's kind of hard to place Juliet's tone, amused with a touch of sadness.
I figured me and you should talk about things before it gets too late again.
Yes, that's a good idea. Would you like to sit down?
We take our usual positions around her desk.
I looked online, but I haven't seen any missing person reports or other indications that someone's searching for her. Usually, if a child were to disappear, it would be all over the news.
There's nobody looking.
As far as I can tell, yes. which would line up with what she told us about running away.
That's so sad. She's just a little kid. There should be somebody who cares about her.
I fully agree. She mentioned that her parents passed away. Perhaps she has other family out there that we could locate. It's difficult with so little information to go by.
Right. Wouldn't they have taken her in when her parents died, though?
There's that as well.
Maybe we should just ask her.
Yes, perhaps. Although I suspect she would have told us already if so.
That's true.
Well, for the time being, it's no bother having her here. There's more than enough space.
Right. That room that she's in now, though. It was Cosette's, wasn't it?
It was indeed. I've left it untouched for many years now. But it's the only other room with a bed, so it was only natural to offer it to Lyra.
I reach across the table to take Juliet's hand.
Yeah. I think it was the right thing to do.
We haven't talked about Cosette much since that night at her grave. Still, I know she's on Juliet's mind all the time. I'm sure that just unlocking that door and letting Lyra in was more difficult than she lets on, even if it was the logical choice. I hope it's also a good sign that she... I hope it's a good sign... I hope it's also a good sign that she did it in the end. Ha! The sadness in Juliet's eyes as she smiles at me is the only confirmation that I'm right. I don't blame her at all, though. Despite everything we talked about, it'll take her a long time to heal.
Something Silver told me this morning was that Lyra seemed hopeful. She's really good at reading people, so I believe her.
I'm glad to hear that. Can't be easy to be in her position.
Nodding, I stand up, intending to go downstairs and reassure Lyra that she can stay here again tonight. However, I only manage to take 2 steps before I bump into something soft and invisible. Lyra pops into vision as she stumbles backwards, and I barely manage to grab her shoulders to keep her from falling. Juliet makes a sound of surprise at her sudden appearance. Ducking away from my hand,
Hey,
Lyra turns and runs.
It's okay if you were listening. You're not in trouble.
Just outside the study, she skids to a stop, looking back mistrustfully.
I always got yelled at for eavesdropping.
No, child. I can't fault you for listening in when you're being talked about.
Juliet stands by my side, with neither of us moving closer to Lyra. She may have gotten more confident around the library, but it's a different story with Juliet and me. But it's a different story with Juliet and me as people.
I'd do the same thing if I could turn invisible like you. I've eavesdropped, even when all I can do is hide.
How much were you able to hear?
Who's
Lyra
Cosette?
shrugs. Beside me, I can feel Juliet tense up and take a deep
My
breath.
daughter. That room you're staying in used to belong to her.
Oh. Is she dead?
Oh, Lyra asks her question as casually as if she's talking about the weather. She hasn't exactly been polite since her arrival, but it's a bit blunt even for her.
Hey, maybe...
Juliet gently holds up a hand to cut me
Yes.
off.
She is.
Oh.
Lyra processes this new information as stoically as ever, her ever-present frown deepening just a bit.
After all?
Juliet and I exchange a wide-eyed look. I can't blame her for worrying about that.
Heavens, no! Although we were wondering if you had any other family out there who might be missing you. Brothers or sisters of your parents, perhaps? Or grandparents?
The girl shakes her head.
It was just me and my mom and my dad.
I see. Well, you can stay here for as long as you need to. We won't make you leave, I promise.
Okay.
She studies us for a long time, biting her thumb. I imagine the blue glow that Silver must have seen around her.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Now, what would the two of you say to dinner? I imagine Miho must be getting hungry.
Yeah, I am. I'm still hungry too. Even after that cereal you ate?
She
There isn't
nods.
that much left.
We can certainly take care of that. Come along. Let's see what we have in the kitchen.
The three of us go down to the kitchen together, where Juliet sets about preparing a meal. Although she's still quiet, Lyra participates in the conversation a bit more, giving her opinion on certain things like food or things she likes to do. After we're done eating, it isn't long before she traipses off to bed, murmuring a groggy good night as she goes. Later, before I turn in for the night myself, I poke my head into her room just to check on her. She's fast asleep. She's fast asleep, mouth open with a line of drool dribbling onto her pillow. The blankets are pulled up beneath her chin and pillows are scattered around the bed. I smile to myself because I know how she must feel. Warm, safe, and hopeful. Aww. Judging by the not. Oh, yep, okay. I think honestly, while this is happening, because I imagine I'm just kind of like reading through it a little bit. Yeah. I'm just gonna
Call me.
go ahead and pull up
Yes.
I think it's
Leary.
Good.
Please be Lyra.
Um,
I don't think I've ever actually heard
You'll
her
come back someday.
say her name before.
If not,
You have moments
perhaps you won't.
someday.
Where's
You
just
might
her playlist? I want to go to her last episode because I'm pretty sure she also did Juliet's Route
Shame,
second.
Miho.
Part 14. Oh yeah, how could this be the finale? Hang on, let me just go skip to like here. Okay, yeah, no, we still have like a good, decent like chunk left. Like we still have about like 3-ish hours. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. We have more than I was expecting, which I'm perfectly okay with. Because I was like, if this is gonna be like near the end of the last episode, or if like we only have one more, then I'm like, I might as well just finish it today. I don't want to leave it off on the thing. But again, I gotta go get the thing.
Hungry.
That's why I've been like so like focused on it this last little bit. You know what I mean? Well, that's honestly perfect. That's like with the schedule, because I was planning to finish it next weekend with doing 2 episodes on Saturday, 2 episodes on Sunday. That's like basically the perfect amount. Granted, it's probably going to be like 2 episodes on Saturday and then 1 long episode on Sunday, but that's fine. That lines up really well with my plans for it, and I can be fully prepared.
You're
She already
always
said that.
So, fair enough.
Lyra finds me in the library almost the moment I'm done cleaning up, and I follow her to the kitchen. She takes a seat at the table expectantly, while I go to the fridge and pantry to see what we have. It's the part of the evening where it'd make more sense to have dinner instead of a snack. Julia's upstairs and would probably come prepare something if we asked her to.
I'll cook us something.
But that decision is probably meaningless to Lyra, who just nods indifferently from the table, but it'll be a first for me. I've watched Juliet make food enough times that I should be able to pull off something simple, like when I cooked breakfast for myself a while ago. As long as I pay attention to what I'm doing, it can't be too hard. I hope. I get a box of pasta, a jar of sauce, an onion, and a pack of meat.
Everything I need.
That's basically, you can make something good with that. Depending on what kind of jar of sauce you got, but you could make something good with that. First, I fill up a pot of water and put it on the stove to start boiling. Then I grab a cutting board and a knife and get the onion ready. It rolls around a lot and my cuts come out all crooked, but I eventually manage to slice it. Very carefully, I chop them into even smaller bits. What? I look up. She's right. A couple chunks are stuck from where they flew off of the knife. Maybe I was moving the knife a little too fast. How do you do that? How do you get it stuck on the ceiling? My lord. I dump the onions into another pan and turn on the heat, and also grab some butter from the fridge. I'm not sure how much to use, so I just scoop up a big lump and throw it in. Better to have too much than not enough, right? Oh, speaking of Leary, she's going live right now. I swear, I can never get into any of her streams. During like the weekday, she always starts streaming while I'm at physical therapy, and then during the rest of then during the weekend, it's always while I'm like mid of recording or something like that. I'm either mid recording or it's a day where I'm like actually like out doing stuff with people before nightfall. I normally do stuff with people at night. I usually spend like the day doing a little bit of recording and mostly cleaning all day. But that's usually when she starts going live, is when I'm like recording and stuff. So it's like, Leary, can't you just plan your stuff around me so I can be live in your chat sometime? Gosh. That's actually like, that's always like my thought of like live streams. That's why I don't watch too many live streams live. That's why I'm like vlog channels. Like she has a vlog, I mean not a vlog channel, a VOD channel essentially. Actually, does she go live on YouTube too at the same time? I don't think I've ever seen her go live. This is such a stupid detour, but you know what? If you watch Please Be Happy, or if you know anything about Please Be Happy, you probably know Leary. She's literally in the credits, so you know you probably should. No, she doesn't. So yeah, it is a VODs channel. Okay, that makes sense. That's how I watch like most of her content, and like most VTubers, I don't watch them live. I just watch their VODs after, because I'm never like it's always like, I'll get to watch like their live stream today. Actually, I need like a surprise doctor's appointment. Oh, I can watch their live stream today. Oh, a dentist appointment went a little long today. Oh, I can watch their live stream today while I work. Actually, surprise meeting. It's always stuff like that. Anyways, let's get back to the actual thing we're here for. It takes a while, but the butter melts and the onions start to sizzle. Dude, a nice grilled like onion, and you've got like, I forgot what the word for it is, but when you like, when you've like glazed it. Oh, so good. And soon the whole kitchen smells pretty good. I also dumped the noodles into the water, which is boiling by now, and set a timer like the box instructs. I'm not sure how to tell when the onions are ready, so I just let them cook until I get bored of waiting, and then dump the meat in with them. It also sizzles loudly when it hits the pan, and I hurry to spread it around with a spatula. Based. As I'm cooking that, Juliet enters the kitchen.
Something smells delicious.
Hey, I'm cooking dinner. I think.
It
Juliet
looks
beams
like
with delight.
everything's coming along wonderfully. I can't wait to try it.
Me too. I'm still hungry, you know. Yeah.
Having the two of them both watching and waiting adds some pressure to the situation. I use the back of my hand to wipe the sweat off my forehead. Standing over the hot stove gets uncomfortable fast. My timer for the noodles goes off while I'm still cooking the meat. Parts of it are getting dark brown and crispy while other parts are still pink, so I keep mixing it around. A few of the onions are beginning to burn too, so I pluck those out and toss them into the trash as I notice them. I leave the pan to its fate while I pick up the pasta pot and carefully tip the water into the sink. Steam rushes into my face and I have to lean back as I let it run out. Only a handful of noodles fall into the sink, which I'm willing to consider a success. I cross my fingers and hope that the meat is done. I can't see any parts that look raw at least. Grabbing the jar of sauce, I unscrew the lid and then dump it all into the pan before mixing that around. Combined with the red sauce, the burnt onions and currently crunchy meat doesn't really stand out too much. I hope that's true for the taste too. Flicking off the stove, I turn to face my audience.
Finally. I thought it was gonna take all day.
Lyra's not impressed, of course, but Juliet claps.
It looks great. Thank you for cooking, Miho.
Don't thank me yet. But since you cook for us all the time, I figured I could at least give it a try.
I retrieve 3 bowls and dump some noodles into each one, followed by a few big spoonfuls of sauce. Just like Juliet does, I carry them to the table and set them out in front of each person.
Here you go.
Lyra wastes no time in digging in, instantly staining her mouth red with sauce. Juliet waits for me to sit down, with her fork hovering over the bowl. I examine the finished dish that I made. It's not pretty, but it doesn't look wrong at least, and it does smell pretty good. I take a tentative bite.
It's not bad.
It's not the best thing I've ever eaten, but it's far from the worst. At the very least, it tastes pretty close to what I expected it would taste like. Juliet blows and hurries to cool it down before taking a bite herself. As she swallows, her eyes go wide with awe. Wait, she can actually taste it?
I'm glad it turned out okay.
No, Miho, I mean it. It's delicious.
Either this is a big moment. I think it could be leading to a big moment of like she can actually taste something if someone like makes something for her instead. Or maybe they forgot that, or maybe I'm forgetting that, like, she can't taste anything or how that works.
Ew. Oh, you can taste it?
Oh, I was right. Oh, I'm so smart. Juliet nods, taking another bite without bothering to wait this time. She chews slowly, closing her eyes to savor it. When she opens them, I see a tear sparkling in the corners. Oh, that's beautiful.
The richness of the tomatoes, the saltiness of the meat. It's the best thing I've had in decades, even over a century.
It's not that good. It's fine though. Next time you should add some salami. That's my favorite.
I love the sassy child. Mediocre or not, Lyra finishes her bowl in record speed and then gets up to serve herself more.
I wonder why. I didn't do anything that special to it.
I'm not sure either, but I certainly can't complain.
Juliet also gets seconds and then even thirds. There's only enough for me to have one bowl, but that's fine by me. Seeing the joy on Juliet's face is more rewarding than an extra full belly. Using the edge of her fork and spoon, she manages to scrape up every last drop. Her dish is so spotless it looks like it could go right back into the cabinet.
Cooking more often, huh?
Juliet
I like
laughs and
that
nods.
Very, very much.
Oh, sorry, I bumped my desk. I just realized, like, I think I need to, like, pull my light up slightly. There we go. There we go. I don't know. It's making, like, weird lines in my screen. It's putting too much pressure on it. I need to figure out a way... Ah, freak, I dropped my phone. I need to figure out a new way to do this light. I don't know... Freak, it got stuck. It was charging, I was pulling it up by the cord, and then it got stuck and it fell. Everything is a disaster. Everything's falling apart. Oh, it's at 100%. I can just take it off the charger now and put it in my pocket. Gosh darn it. Because it's like putting like too much pressure on my screen. So I'm like, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all, huh? Sorry, I keep bumping the mic. I'm not meaning to, but it's just what I kind of gotta do. Because I don't want this to like break my screen or anything like that, you know? There we go. That doesn't look like it's putting on too much pressure there, but now it's not really like lighting my face too well. I need to figure this out more. I need to figure this out better. Maybe I just need to hold it. I'll just hold it over my face forever. No, that's the dumbest idea. How does it do on the camera? Most people like put their lights on the camera itself. Could I do that? No, no, dude, I cannot. Absolutely not, mate. My light is way... My camera's just like too thickums for it. What if I put it like further down the screen? No, that's definitely like doing like too much. Yeah. I don't know what to do with this actually. That's not good. I don't want it to, because I don't want to like break my screen or anything. So I'll figure this out later. Womp. There. That's the difference. This is me with like the light off. This is me with the light on. It actually like tracks that my eyes are open. That's why it's like kind of important to have like decent lighting when you're a VTuber. Maybe I could... Hang on. Does this work? Hang on. Click. No, that doesn't really work that well. Because I was like, I could just clip it onto my microphone. Like my mic stand, essentially. But it definitely wouldn't light up my face good enough. So anyways. Sorry, this episode's been very off tracky. After months of practicing, oh. Man. Why wasn't I doing all that during this while I was just skipping through it? I kind of completely forgot about this plotline. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I brought it up earlier, but I'm like, what? What are we doing again? I forgot that we just hadn't done it yet. So it's just skippity dippity 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 do. Wait, hang on. Let me pull off. All right, super speed. Go! Dude, I can't believe that we're like actually like that close to the end. Like I was worried like next weekend I wouldn't be able to finish this game. But like we are genuinely like so close. Like if I didn't have like a lot of chores left to do today, just because it's been a couple weeks since I've done my chores, I could like probably just like finish this. I could probably have finished it today, because by the time we're like done with this, like there's not gonna be a lot left. You know what I mean? There's just not. I mean, there's still like 2-ish hours left, but like still, that's like crazy, isn't it? I think that that's pretty crazy. I personally, in my opinion, I think that that's pretty nuts. Oh. Hang on, okay. The moon sits high in the sky as Juliet and I make our way through the quiet streets, hand in hand. With Lyra fast asleep at home, this is the first time we've spent together with just the two of us since we got back from the edge of the world. We catch a shuttle to the nature preserve from the same place I boarded it last time, and just like our shuttle to the edge, it's almost devoid of other passengers. The preserve is open at all hours to give nocturnal fabled like Juliet the opportunity to come visit. The preserve is open at all hours to give nocturnal fabled like Juliet the opportunity to come visit, but I don't expect it to be nearly as busy as when I went there. Sure enough, we're practically alone as we enter the hall. Hang on, I'm gonna scoot forward just a little bit more. I keep getting pushed back. My chair just naturally slowly rolls back over the time. Sure enough, we're practically alone as we enter, having the whole
It's
area
just
to
as
ourselves.
beautiful as I remember.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
We meander through the lush, sprawling forest before ending up back near the river. Juliet, shoot, my phone. I'm just trying to find a good place to put it because I don't want to hold it right. Gosh darn it, I'm just trying to put you down, phone. Sorry. This has been such a chaotic episode. Juliet and I point out nesting birds and skittering lizards as we see them. It's a much different atmosphere than when I was here in the daytime, but not in a bad way, just quieter and more
I'm glad
relaxed.
We can go out like this. It's been a while, huh?
Yes, it has. It's been hectic having another mouth to feed and look after.
For sure. I don't really mind it though.
Nor do I.
We come to a stop near the water, not far from the covered sitting area. I can see my reflection staring back at me, but it looks like I'm alone. Although she's right beside me, Juliet has no reflection to speak of like usual. Like her ability to taste some food, I wonder if that'll come back someday.
Around, even though it's only been a couple days. I like being able to help her out.
I know she's appreciative of it too, even if she has trouble expressing that sometimes.
Just a little bit of trouble.
I don't blame her for that. I know what it's like.
Whether it's cooking her dinner or setting up the TV or just checking on her at night, Lyra's presence has given me a sense of purpose that I didn't really have before. She's shown that she's capable of taking care of herself, but she's still choosing to rely on Juliet and me. I keep thinking of that hopeful blue glow that Yunbi described. I forgot how to actually pronounce his name. Oh no. If Yunbi had seen me back then when I first came to the library, I probably would have had the same color surrounding me. Tonight, Lyra went to bed without needing any reassurance that her time at the library is limited, and she even complimented the meal that Juliet prepared for dinner. Just like I did, she's settling into a routine. I ask quietly. Juliet doesn't answer at first. I know that she heard me. I'm struggling so much. I'm so sorry right now, guys. This has been a terrible episode. She's probably thinking about it too. The answer seems obvious, of course, but also huge, life-changing, for more than one life.
I want her to stay. I know what that means. At least, I kind of do. You would know better than me, since you've been through it before. But I don't want to tell her she has to leave someday. Not when I know she doesn't have anywhere else to go. I don't know what usually happens to kids without a family. But if I was her, I wouldn't trust some stranger who told me what I had to do, where I have to live. And one thing I do know is how hard it is to be alone in the world, with no one you can talk to or trust. I don't want anyone to feel that way. Not if I can help it.
I rest my head on Juliet's shoulder, and she puts her arm around me. The sheer amount of responsibility that I'm suggesting we take on is overwhelming. I don't know anything about taking care of a kid. I didn't even know how to properly take care of myself until recently. There's so much that I'm only vaguely aware of. School, clothes, chores. I never had a childhood or grew up with a normal sense of the word. But none of that matters. What's important is that Lyra's here and her future is in our hands. Everything I've learned since coming to Wellington, all the ways I have grown, they all point towards that being the right decision. Beside me, I feel Juliet slowly nod.
In the end, it's not our choice to make. What's most important is what she wants. It's a cruel fate that dealt her this hand in the first place. Someone so young shouldn't have to make such a huge decision. But we can only play with the cards we're given. If being with us is what Lyra wants, then I would be happy to oblige. The road will be long and difficult. There will be tears and frustrations on both sides, I'm sure. And I'm sure it will take some time before she can fully trust and accept us, as it should. But I know there will also be smiles and joy, little things and big things that make the difficulties worth enduring. If that's something that she's prepared for, as much as she can be, and that you're prepared for too, Miho, then I want her to stay as well.
I lift my head to look around. All around us are the remainders of many lives, big and small, from the chirping crickets and croaking frogs to the other park visitors who pass us by. All of them, all of us exist together here, under the same moon, breathing the same air. I used to take these connections for granted, just like I did my everyday existence. It's not just what I've gained since then, but also what I've lost that makes me pause and silently reflect. Zhang Yin, my person, who never ever forgot me. Aspen and Juliet, who opened up their hearts and lives to accept me. Even Yunbi, who eventually came to trust me. They all made me who I am. I am fortunate to have had them in my life. Can I be that for someone else? Can I help someone grow the same way? The one thing that all of those people have in common is that they all took a chance on me, and I took a chance on them. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that all the best things in life come with risk and uncertainty. This decision, as big as it may be, isn't any different. Turning to look into Juliet's eyes,
Yeah.
I nod.
I'm prepared.
Her gentle warmth engulfs me as her arms pull me into an
Then we'll
embrace.
speak with her tomorrow.
That's lovely. I love this. Have I made that clear yet? Juliet and I end up getting home pretty late from the nature preserve, and so the next morning I choose to sleep in a bit longer than usual. When I finally climb out of bed, I go to check on Lyra. Although her bed is messy and unmade, she's nowhere to be seen. She must have already gone up and gone downstairs. Hang on, I need to... I had a little sneeze to sneeze. Yawning. Also, oh my gosh, hey Aspen, it's been a long while. How long has it been? Like, I was gonna say like 2 or 3 episodes, which that used to be not be too long, but hey man, these 40 to 50-minute episodes, sheesh, makes it a long time. Yawning, I make my way to the kitchen, expecting to see her and Juliet. When I see who's waiting there instead, I blink with surprise.
Aspen,
Ah, Miho, good morning.
it's been forever since you've been here.
That's what I'm
A
saying.
few weeks.
Like I said.
That's like forever.
Forever.
It does feel that way, I admit. Sorry I haven't been able to chat much lately.
It's fine. I know you're busy.
Although Aspen and I still check in every night, just so she doesn't forget me, we never talk for long. In fact, most of our conversations are pretty much just saying hello and then almost immediately saying goodbye. I haven't even gotten the chance to tell her about everything that's been happening these past few
How have you
days.
been?
Oh, same as ever. These past couple weeks I've been working hard on some edits to my manuscript that a publisher requested. It's been tough, but I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's great! So they're gonna publish your book?
It's still too early to say, but...
She cracks
I'm
a smile.
optimistic at least. What about you? I expected Juliet to be around by now, but I haven't seen her.
She might be asleep. We were out kind of late last night.
Oh! I take it that means things are going better between you two then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your advice helped a lot. Things have been really good, actually.
Oh my gosh, has it really been since she last gave us the advice? That was the last time she was on screen? Oh my gosh.
I'm so glad to hear it.
The whole time we're talking, Aspen is also turning this way and that in her chair, like she's
What are
searching
you
for
looking
something.
for?
I don't know what happened to my pen. I swear I just had it with me, but now I can't find it.
Maybe you dropped it on the floor?
Maybe. It's not a big deal, though. I have extras.
Or maybe an invisible child stole it. Obviously, duh. That's the first thing I would have thought of, too. Jeez. Her purse is dangling from her chair, and she pulls it onto her lap to dig around. When she does, she
What
frowns.
now?
My notebook is missing too. There's no way that fell out on its own.
Aspen stands up, pacing back and forth between her seat and the entrance to the kitchen, peering down the room towards the front door. While she's out of her seat, I watch her hand... While she's out of her seat, I watch her hand mirror float up and out of her bag and disappear around a corner. I have to bite my lip to keep from laughing as I realize what's going on. Looking frustrated, Aspen returns and sits back down. Taking a peek into her purse again, Aspen suddenly looks up
Did
and
you
glares
do
at me.
this?
Do what?
My mirror. I'm certain it was just here. I just saw it and set it aside.
I didn't touch it. I swear.
Then who did?
As fun as it is to watch Aspen get flustered, I don't want to see her get genuinely upset. I look over in the direction where I saw her mirror
All right,
vanish.
Lyra, that's enough.
Lyra suddenly pops into view right next to me, instead of where she disappeared. She has a notebook and pen in one hand and the mirror in her other.
How'd you ruin it? I was gonna get her whole
Across from me, Aspen stares in shock, her mouth moving but unable to actually form any sentences.
Huh?
Oh, Aspen gives the best deliveries.
Aspen, meet
Huh?
Lyra. Lyra, meet Aspen. She's not a wolf. Don't worry.
Lyra rolls her eyes at me.
I can tell.
After blinking a few times, Aspen manages to get herself somewhat under control.
Nice to meet you, Lyra.
From the way she stares at me, even while talking to the kid, I can tell Aspen wants an
Do you live here
explanation.
too?
I don't. Why do you ask?
You act like it.
I can't help but snort with laughter. Aspen, meanwhile, seems like she can't tell if she should be offended or not. Having had my fun, I decide to help her
Lyra's
out.
staying at the library for a while. We met her a couple days ago.
I see. Juliet sure does love her strays.
What's that supposed to mean?
Lyra, may I please have my things back?
Fine.
Stomping over where Aspen's sitting, Lyra turns her
So
belongings.
You're able to use magic too, I see.
Uh-huh. Can you?
Unfortunately not. I wish I could.
Just to show off, Lyra disappears again, and Aspen instinctively clutches her purse tightly.
How long are you able to stay invisible?
Reappearing, Lyra shrugs.
I have to hold my breath. Oh, that explains it.
I always thought she puffed out her cheeks for dramatic effect, but if it's part of her magic, that makes more sense. Looking smug, Lyra sits down on the last empty seat at the
When's
table.
breakfast? Dunno. Juliet's still asleep. I can start making us something, though. I can wait. Juliet's cooking is better.
This time it's Aspen who tries to stifle a
She doesn't
laugh.
mince words, does she?
At least she's honest, I guess. I'm gonna cook anyway. Even I can't mess up eggs and toast that much.
I conveniently choose to leave out the results from last time I made them. I have more experience now, so it should get better. So it should go better. Once again, Juliet turns up while I'm
Good
halfway through
morning,
cooking.
everyone. My, what a crowded kitchen we have today.
Morning! The food will be ready soon.
This time I'm keeping a close eye on the eggs to make sure they don't get overcooked. and on the toast to make sure it cooks enough. While I do that, Juliet goes and retrieves another chair from somewhere so we all have a place to sit. When everything looks right, I dish it up and serve it. Aspen and Lyra eat without any complaints, which I take to mean it's good enough. But it's Juliet's reaction that I'm most curious about. I watch intently as she prepares a careful bite, chewing thoughtfully, then her
It
face lights
tastes
up.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
I'd happily cook every morning if it makes her smile like that every time. Aw, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. As if everything in this game isn't. When breakfast is over, Juliet stands up to get everyone's
Aspen?
attention.
Miho, I was wondering if I might be able to enlist your help for the day. Since the library
Oh?
is closed for the weekend, I thought it might be a good opportunity to give this place a thorough cleaning. It's been ages since it's had a good dusting, and some of the spare rooms could stand to be emptied out.
Sure, I don't mind. I could certainly use the exercise.
Yeah, of course I'll help.
Thank you.
What about me? I can help too.
Well,
She and I look at each other and I give a tiny nod. We didn't plan out how to have this conversation with Lyra, but now seems like a good as time as any. Aspen must notice our silent exchange because she stands
I'll
up.
go straighten up the books first, before we start on the rest of the house. Just give me a call if you need me.
we will. Thank you.
Once Aspen leaves, Juliet takes a seat, scooting her chair closer to Lyra and me. From the way the kid starts to fidget, I get the impression that we're making her
Lyra?
nervous.
There was something that Miho and I wanted to ask you. Something very important.
Do you want to live here with us?
I decide to just cut to the chase rather than stretch out the amount of time that Lyra has to worry about what we're going to say. She stops fidgeting immediately, looking
What do you mean?
confused.
I already do.
Yes, but in a permanent sense. Not just for a few nights, but
This would be your home. Oh.
For a bit, none of us talk. Under the table, I seek Juliet's hand, and I'm surprised to find that it's shaking. Lyra chews her lip and bites her thumb, staring at the
of course,
floor.
if you don't want to, then we fully understand. Both of us will do everything we can to help you find somewhere that you do want to be.
Yeah. We won't make you go back to the people you ran away from or anything like that.
Even though we've already promised her that, I feel like it
If
bears
I do,
repeating.
Then what would we be?
In what sense?
A family.
Like...
Oh, I love where this is going. She struggles to find the words to phrase her question, but I think I know what she means. It's kind of like when Juliet and I began our relationship, and I didn't know what to call it.
family.
Finally, Lyra looks up at both of us. I squeeze Juliet's hand, and she squeezes back, still shaky.
Okay. I like that.
Heck yeah. I can feel the tension drain out of Juliet's hand as she relaxes, laughing with relief. Even as my heart pounds, I can feel myself grinning too. And across from us, for the first time ever, I see Lyra's face light up with a real genuine smile, one that she doesn't bother to hide or force away. I don't have to be Silver to see the hope she feels right now. I felt it myself not so long ago. This time, I get to be the one to say the words that Juliet said to me
In
back
that
then.
case, welcome home.
That's so good. Oh, that's so good. Leaping to her feet, Lyra scurries over with her arms outstretched. Julia and I both catch her in a hug, and the three of us wrapping our arms around each other. Can we get a CG of it? Somehow out of the three of us, Lyra's the only one without any tears in her eyes. Somehow, out of the three of us, Lyra's the only one without any
You'll
tears in her
never have
eyes.
to be alone again.
Together, Lyra and I both nod. The three of us separate, and Juliet laughs as she wipes her face.
Well, shall we go give Aspen a hand?
Yeah.
We find Aspen up near the front, idly wiping down one of the display cases with a rag. She... Sorry, that cough came out of nowhere. I haven't, like, coughed at all this entire recording. That one just came out of nowhere. She turns around to face us, and I see her sizing up all the details at once. Our tears, Lyra's hand in Juliet's hand, Lyra's hand in Juliet's, and her newfound smile. I can tell she understands.
Congratulations, all of you.
Aspen, Juliet, and I organize and scrub the downstairs area from top to bottom. Lyra runs back and forth between us, bringing cleaners and rags and whatever else someone else and whatever bringing cleaners and rags and whatever else someone can ask for. Once we're finished, we move upstairs, skipping over my room and Juliet's study. Instead, we all stop at the storage room, where I find a TV. Instead, we all stop at the storage room, where I found the fish tank, or the elemental, and where Juliet got my TV. I'm struggling so much right now. I'm getting, like, emotional. She flicks on the lights, illuminating boxes stuffed with toys and clothes, and even a couple full of books. All of these used to be Cosette's things. They've just sat here, untouched for years. I put a hand on her shoulder, while both Lyra and Aspen wait uncertainly by the door. Juliet strolls through the room, peering into several boxes. Sometimes she retrieves a toy, like a plastic horse or a stuffed doll, and gazes at it fondly, and then she puts them back. I follow her in, and hesitantly Lyra follows behind me. Oh. Juliet kneels down to match Lyra's eye level,
Lyra,
gently reaching out to clasp her hands.
Feel free to keep anything here that strikes your fancy. We'll donate the rest to others who may want them.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm certain. Cosette wouldn't have wanted her treasures to sit in the dark and waste away unappreciated. I was only doing that for myself. No. What she would have wanted is for them to bring smiles and happiness to others, like they brought to her. Passing them down is the best way I can honor her memory.
I'll take good care of them. Promise.
Juliet pats her on the head. It takes all day, but together we manage to comb through everything in the rooms. Aspen sweeps and dusts while the rest of us sort out all the belongings. In the end, Lyra only picks a few toys and clothes for herself. The rest are packed neatly into boxes that Juliet and I haul downstairs, to be picked up by a charity group later. We go room by room, cleaning up until we reach the last one, Lyra's room. All of us help her carry her chosen toys in, setting them up on a shelf or in a toy box. Aspen and Juliet swap out the bed sheets and the curtains, and take care of all the dust. We also rearrange the furniture just to give it a new look. There are a few things Juliet takes with her, too. Photographs and a journal and other personal belongings. She takes those into her study, giving them a place of honor by her desk, where they'll never be out of sight, but also where they're surrounded by the records and lives of others who came before, people who might have known her. Juliet puts a smiling, framed picture of Cosette on the shelf facing towards the door. In the photo, Cosette is laughing and winking, even as she's walking away from the camera. I have to say, she looks right at home too. Oh, okay.
Whew, I'm beat.
I think that is where we will end this episode for now. I want to keep going, but I really do have a lot of things that I gotta get to do. I want to finish it. I want to finish it so bad. We're so close, but that also makes me so sad. Here, let's just go like this. Return. Hang on. What is the... Worn out from cleaning, Miho falls asleep in Juliet's room. Oh, that's cute. All right, guys, let's check. How much do we have left?
Okay, let me grab my keys.
All right, we have 7% left. That's still about like 2 hours. Yeah. Well, no, 2 hours is about. Yeah, no, because about an hour is like 3-ish%. So that's about right. Yeah. Oh, it's so close. I don't want it. I don't want it to happen, but we're so close to the end. It's crazy. It's crazy how close we are. Wait. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of checking things really quick. And yeah, it does look like maybe the next time's gonna be the end of it all. Wait. Oh, no, wait, no way. We're like right at the end, I think. Hang on. I'm slightly peeking because I don't want to like again. I have plans. I have plans. It's the dumbest thing to try and get this ready for. You know what I mean? But I have plans. Okay, so hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Okay, I'm just gonna. You know what? No, we'll finish in the next one. I was like, maybe we should just finish it today. You know, I have like chores I need to do. I need to get meal prepping. You know, make my food for the week. But maybe I don't have to. Maybe we could just play the rest of it. You know, like who's to say? You know. But no, I should end it there. I should end it there. I'm just getting too antsy. You know what I mean? Like I love this story. I love this game. And I want to experience more, so if there's an excuse to do that and shirk off all my other responsibilities in life, then like I should. But no, 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 no. We're gonna call it there. So I will see all of you beautiful people in the next one. Bye-bye. For what's probably gonna be the finale. Oh gosh. Oh god, it's probably the finale in the next episode. Oh, kill me. Oh, I'm not ready.